Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here, and it's Christmas during Easter. Yeah, through my collaboration with Daryl Conant, the student of Vince Gironda, I am very, very lucky to have been able to acquire from Daryl a replica, a probably, I guess, half-sized replica of the original Vince's Gym sign. As you can see here, it's a beautiful sign. It really is. It's made out of wood. I'm going to show you in a minute. Plus two of his books. The rest of his books are on their way from the States as well. So I've got a couple of his great books here, Sculpting a Masterpiece and Dyed Earth. And I'll explain why these are so great. And also, he's actually been producing for the last few years the original Vince's Gym staff t-shirt and sweatshirt, right, which are here. It's actually really nice, very original. The color you can see is actually navy blue with white. I thought it was black, but it's navy blue. This is the original. I mean, I think there's someone out there who's trying to recreate them, but with a black print, and it's not the original. These are the originals. So, fantastic. I just feel like I'm like it's Christmas and Easter. I mean, I'm stumbling over my own words from the excitement. The package was enormous. I mean, you can imagine it was like a massive cut. You can see I've thrown all the stuffing on the table, and yeah, it's just beautiful. My idea is so I'm saving up, as some of you know, to buy my own home. Well, not to buy it, but just to save up for a deposit. And I wish for the Keller, at least, because we live in Switzerland, there's Kellers in every house. I wish for the Keller to be large enough that at least I'll make it large enough, or buy a house with a large enough Keller. A Keller's basically just a basement, that allows me to have a large gym there. A large gym that allows me to then do videos. And I mean, I'm not very happy about where I train at the moment. It is my Keller. It's a very, very small one. It's basically just 4x2, and it is stuffed with all my equipment. You can't really walk in there. It's always an operation to train in there because I've got to get everything out and set it up. It's rather annoying. So I hope that in the future I have a rather large Keller that allows me to really space out my gym properly. And the idea is to have this Vince's Gym sign on the outside of it, like as if it's a Vince's Gym in Switzerland. It's kind of like a little silly dream of mine. But yeah, I'm really looking forward now that I've got the sign to eventually, when I have a nice enough home, to add some iconic pieces in there. Like I would like to purchase the Larry Scott style preacher bench, a spider bench, and something like a triceps bench, because these are really, I think, essential to Vince's Gym. And yeah, other pieces like an original hack squat, or the Vince Gironda dip. I guess it's not really a machine, but the setup for it. I think these are essential parts of Vince's Gym, and you can only do his exercises with certain pieces of equipment. So we'll need to have them either especially designed or special, or if someone actually makes them, to actually purchase them. Yeah, so that's the idea. I mean, I've got my own equipment. Most of you know what I have, because you can see what I upload on my YouTube channel. But I would like to have like a small section of my gym with specific equipment that Vince Gironda had in his gym that allows you to do his specific exercises. I'll either have to have it designed, or I'll make it myself, because I can actually create my own gym equipment. I've done it in the past, and it's not that difficult if you know your way around some machines, and you've got patience. You can actually create some very nice equipment. And I mean, Vince's gym equipment was all made of wood and leather, so it can't be that difficult. Anyway, yeah, so it's just wonderful. This sign is about 1 meter long. It's half my table, and my table's pretty big. And yeah, it's just perfect. My wife said you should put it on top of the office so that when you walk in, it's like your office where you do your work. It's also a good idea, but I want to save it for my gym. Now, Daryl does have certain books, as most of you know, Invincible, and what's the other one called? I think it's Invincible, and oh my god, I forgot the name of the second one. Yeah, they're Invincible and Convinced, I just remembered. These are essentially some of the best books on Vince Gironda's routines out there, because when I've spoken to Daryl, he has mentioned that these books basically cover everything that Vince taught him. And I believe that's really, really, really golden material. I know that in these two books, you basically have all of Vince's programs explained in I guess in terms where a lot of people nowadays can understand better than what Vince wrote. Vince wrote rather vaguely, and unless you owned all his equipment and even trained under him, they served as reference materials at times. And a lot of people that buy his stuff don't, they have some of them, not all of them, but some people have difficulty trying to figure out what he's trying to say. And I think what Daryl has done with his books Convinced and Invincible is provided images of all the exercises and explain them in great detail, which makes it much easier to understand. So I do recommend those books, and they are coming, so we'll review them. But Sculpting a Masterpiece is kind of his own experience along with what Vince taught him, as well as some very, very advanced stuff. As well, both of these books also deal with his nutritional knowledge, which was passed down by Ron Kosloff. Now, Ron Kosloff was the man, along with Vince, that created NSP Nutrition. So these two guys, Vince and Ron, really were nutritional gurus. And I mean, their knowledge, unfortunately, has only survived through either their students. We're talking Larry Scott, who passed away, Don Howarth, etc., Jerry Brainham, people like that, Daryl Conant, of course, or through their publications. And Daryl basically wrote as much as he could, basically everything that he knew from Ron and from Vince in these books in regards to nutrition. So that's why I decided to get these, because as many of you know, nutrition, at least when you're doing bodybuilding naturally, and especially if you read a lot of Vince Gironda material, you'll realize how important nutrition is. So I had originally only bought Convinced and Invincible, but after having spoken to Daryl during my interview, I realized that these books were part of the puzzle. And as he put it, the stuff in here is really advanced. It's mind-blowing stuff, stuff that science still has to catch up with. So I can just imagine what's in here. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm very excited again with my collaboration with Daryl. I loved the Vince's Gym sign, the staff members' shirt and sweatshirt. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading these books. Daryl, if you're listening, I can't thank you enough. As you said, you're going to open the package and it's going to feel like Christmas, and I swear it does. I mean, when I was at the post office, I was just smiling, and the lady there was just like, looking at me all weird, because I knew what it was. When I saw the size of it, I knew what it was, and I'm just over the moon. Look at that, Vince's Gym. It's just, it's fantastic. It's like getting, the only second best thing to this would be getting a replica Gold's Gym sign from 1975, So this is as close as it gets to the golden era. And if you are interested, by the way, of course, in getting one of these signs for your own home gym, then get in touch with Daryl. He actually can have them custom made for you. And I think it's a great investment. I mean, it cost me a bit, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it, especially if you're a Vince Gironda fan like I am, a golden era bodybuilder fan like I am. This is the kind of stuff that whets my appetite and just makes me smile. This is the stuff. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Yeah, if you have, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't to my channel, and leave me a comment. What do you think of the Vince's Gym sign? What do you think of the original Vince's Gym staff apparel that Daryl still sells? It's fantastic, I think. My wife is like, look, there's you and me. Exactly. It's brilliant. And yeah, I mean, have you bought Daryl's books? What do you think about his books? If you haven't read these, I think you should. And if you have, let me know. I'll definitely be reviewing these as well as well as the other stuff that's coming from Daryl next week. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. This is the Golden Era Bookworm saying bye for now and keep it natural. And for those interested in learning the secrets of Larry Scott, Vince Gironda's top student and first Mr. Olympia, head to my website for the most extensive range of booklets on Larry Scott's bodybuilding methods. Everything from bulking up for beginners, specialization courses, and advanced courses, as well as preparing for competition, all available at www.goldenerabookworm.com. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Vince Gironda's approach to bodybuilding, his principles, and all these tips of wisdom that he has, I mean, there's so much stuff that probably hasn't been proven by science, and it will take science to prove or disprove Vince. But to be honest, these 3 books, I believe, which I call the Classic Physique Bundle, are the best books that Vince ever came out with. And they, of course, are the Wild Physique, the Master Series, and the Pro Series. Have a look at it this way. The Wild Physique, I believe, is like the ABCs of Vince Gironda's principles to bodybuilding. He teaches you the exercises and his principles. But how do you put them together? Well, the Master Series is a 14-month program of using all of these principles, all of the diets that Vince came out with, all of the exercises. And believe me, it's a brilliant, brilliant program. Many people have used it. I know personally a lot of bodybuilders that have actually used it and made fantastic results with it. And of course, the Pro Series was a book that he came out with later on, specially targeted for getting into competition. It's just these 3 books, as I call it, the Classic Physique Bundle, Vince's best work, and available, of course, at www.goldenerabookworm.com. Now, the Pro Series of Bodybuilding, which was targeted for professional bodybuilders, contains 6 programs, each of which go for 2 months each. So it's a whole year, again, in preparation for competition. To support your favorite YouTube channel, please visit teespring.com/stores/goldenerabookworm for merchandise, including t-shirts, hoodies, face masks, phone cases, and much, much more. Once again, at teespring.com/stores/goldenerabookworm. Become a patron at www.patreon.com/goldenerabookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding. To take full advantage of my collaboration with Old School Labs, please visit their website and choose from their marvelous range of supplements using my code BOOKWORM12. And for an entertaining look at the history of bodybuilding's supplement industry, I would highly recommend watching Subs the Movie, which I have collaborated in, available at Amazon Prime and Vimeo.